Welcome back to Soul Renovation. I'm Adeline Atlas, 7 times published author. Certainty is the code. Command through trust. Definition. Spiritual power doesn't begin when you feel ready. It begins when you trust the unseen. The energetic realm governs the physical. And when you know that, you stop begging, stop doubting, and start commanding your reality from a place of immovable knowing. Read this until it clicks. When you trust the unseen, you command the seen. Certainty isn't a feeling, it's a power. Let that sink in, because most people think faith is a mood, a vibe, something they have when life feels light. But real faith, it's not reactive. It's not based on evidence. It's an energetic decision, a frequency you lock into before anything makes sense. When you trust the unseen, you're not delusional. You're aligned. You're walking like you already own the thing you're asking for. You're operating from future truth, not current conditions. And when you move like that, you're not hoping anymore. You're declaring. That's why certainty is so rare. Because it's not about control, it's about conviction. It's saying, even if I don't feel it today, I know what's mine. I know what I'm building. I know what's unfolding behind the scenes. And that knowing, that's what bends reality. That's what magnetizes timelines. That's what collapses delays. Because the spiritual laws are exact. You don't get what you want, you get what you believe. You don't attract from wishful thinking. You attract from frequency alignment. And the moment you embody certainty, life starts responding differently. Opportunities show up, resistance fades, confusion clears. Why? Because the universe mirrors your dominant energy, not your intentions. Your internal command. You don't beg for what you believe is already yours. You prepare for it. You act accordingly. You speak like it's done. You walk like it's confirmed. And if you're still waiting for a sign, a shift, a feeling to hit before you move, then you're not in certainty. You're in delay. And that's the trap. Because certainty doesn't wait. It builds anyway. Certainty is quiet. It's not always hype or emotion. It's that internal posture that says, I've already seen it in the spirit. Now I'm just walking it out in the physical. And people will call it arrogance. They'll call it luck. They'll call it too much. But don't shrink. Because certainty is your code. And you're not here to play small with spiritual laws. You're here to master them. Think about it. The most magnetic people you've ever met, they weren't the loudest. They were the most grounded. They weren't doubting their every move. They weren't outsourcing their power. They were rooted, aligned, certain. And that certainty, that's what makes them untouchable. So how do you build that kind of power? You stop asking, what if it doesn't work? And start asking, who do I become when I decide it will? You stop checking external cues for permission. You go inward. You affirm it. You speak it. You act in alignment with it before the evidence shows up. Because you are the evidence. Your energy is the first signal. Your clarity is the first contract. And the more you command the unseen, the more the seen begins to obey. The School of Soul Vault is my private monthly membership designed for those who are done just listening and ready to start building. Inside, you get full access to my video series, the unfiltered teachings, the strategy, the game plans, everything I don't share anywhere else. If you're ready to grow in silence and rise with precision, this is where it happens. Join the vault. Monthly access, lifetime impact.